technology allows us to appreciate the good things in life. Other applicants are departing for their own evaluations, but this isn't a race. Each of the coming stages can be completed at your own pace. Remarkable, isn't it? For so long, humanity gazed up at the stars in wonder. We're not distracted by one of Earth's many wars. And now, we glide between them without a second thought. Ah, here we are. Your first task is to demonstrate basic ship movements. A ship's trajectory is primarily controlled by pitch, yaw, and roll. Perform each of these now. Good. Now increase your throttle to accelerate forwards. Decrease the throttle to resume a stationary position. Your throttle can also be pulled back from zero to engage reverse thrust. As before, push the throttle in the opposite direction to cease moving. Inputs confirmed. Looks like you've got the hang of individual controls. Let's see if you can put them all together. Your next task is to guide your ship through a series of checkpoints. Head towards the course, following the target indicator. The course weaves through an orbital structure and is designed for the novice pilot. Accelerate through the first checkpoint when you're ready to start. And we're off. There's no time limit, so maintain a comfortable speed while you familiarize yourself with the controls. Rolling and pitching together is the most efficient way of turning rapidly. If you feel like you aren't in full control, zero your throttle and take a moment to get your bearings.
Flight assist off. Flight assist on.
Practice to consider the angle and speed of your approach. See the blue marker beside the throttle gauge. This indicates the optimum turning speed. approaching a particularly sharp turn, so I advise slowing down to prevent any mishaps. Your ship's boost function greatly increases your speed, but use it wisely. That's the last checkpoint. The Sidewinder is an agile craft, and you handled it well. A new icon has appeared on the sensor display in the center of your dashboard. This represents a nearby beacon, which you'll soon scan as part of your evaluation. Target the beacon before we continue. You're going to use your ship's data link scanner to analyze the beacon, but you need to deploy hardpoints first. Good. Most external modules are installed on hardpoints, including weapons. Control is back with you. The beacon is relatively small, so you'll need to position yourself close to it. Watch your speed here. We intend to scan the object, not become one with it. You can scan the beacon now. Well done. The data link scanner is a versatile tool that connects with network interfaces and various data points. You need to move to another area of this star system to continue your assessment, pilot. Rather than travel for the next year using your thrusters, you can employ the ship's frameshift drive to increase your speed by a few orders of magnitude. First, ensure that the ship is correctly secured. Your landing gear, cargo scoop, and hardpoints must all be retracted. When you're ready, throttle up and engage Supercruise.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
All readouts look good. You're now accelerating towards a velocity comparative to the speed of light, measured in C. Supercruise is used to navigate within a star system, allowing you to cover significant distances in minutes. Usually you'll retain control in Supercruise, but on this occasion your ship's computer is following a preset path. This is a good time to familiarize yourself with a couple of the cockpit panels available to you. In the top left of your HUD is the comms panel, which displays pilot communications and contacts across several channels. The top right is your info panel. Entries here mostly relate to your ship's status, computer messages, and events happening around you. Ah, there we go. Welcome to Lightspeed. Watch the distance and speed markers on the dashboard. These are used to help you accurately disengage at your destination. Your next lesson will introduce the basics of combat. Several static and mobile targets will be provided around a decommissioned megaship. We'll also cover some situational information about weaponry and target tracking. And yes, you'll get to shoot those weapons you saw earlier. ship speed. The closer the body, the greater the effect. The frameshift drive is disengaged. Welcome to the combat zone. Before you start shooting, however, try analyzing the megaship with a data link scanner. Well done. It's often worth scanning objects you're unfamiliar with to learn more about them. Next, you need to activate your weapons by cycling to a different fire group. You'll notice that your weapons are now listed on your HUD. Fire groups allow you to manage your hardpoints efficiently. Let's begin the combat evaluation. Destroy several of the canisters. All weapons have an effective range, so you may need to move closer here. Try targeting the canister you're aiming at. supply runs out. Meanwhile, your laser will fire until the capacitor is depleted, at which point it will need to recharge. Quota achieved. Let's dial up the challenge a notch, shall we? An unmanned craft has arrived nearby. These drones are used by the Pilots Federation as target practice, and they're quite harmless. To continue, bring the craft into your sights and open fire. I recommend targeting your opponent during combat. Notice how your reticules move towards your target. Your ship's gimbal weapons offer a degree of aiming assistance. Nice work. You may have noticed that multi-cannons are effective against unshielded targets. Another craft has arrived. This one is fitted with a shield generator. Helpfully, your burst laser is a thermal weapon, which excels at stripping away a target's shields. Consider me impressed. Your final target has dropped into the area. This time your opponent will fight back, but its damage capability has been greatly reduced. Your target will not react until it registers shield damage. Engage when ready. Understanding the basics of combat is vital for a pilot's long-term survival. For advanced combat information, you should refer to the Pilot's Handbook, which we'll cover in more detail soon. The next step of your evaluation involves a hyperspace jump to a neighboring star system. On this occasion, your ship's computer has selected your destination for you. We'll cover selecting destinations manually soon. The mass lock indicator on the bottom right of the dashboard is active. This means a large object is in close proximity, preventing you from engaging the FSD. To resolve this, throttle up to move a safe distance away from the megaship. Remember, you can boost to temporarily increase your ship's speed. The mass lock indicator has gone out. When you are ready to travel light years in seconds, engage the FSD.
Cannot comply.
Technology has made the task of leaping between star systems appear trivial. Never let this simplicity distract from the marvel humanity has achieved. Your next stop is Quello Station. This time we'll employ the Supercruise Assist module to guide your approach. Open the external interface panel to your left and select the Navigation tab. Highlight the Starport in the location list and then select Supercruise Assist. It's the second option. If you're lost, exit the external panel and start over. You can take your time to familiarize yourself with the panel controls. Selected, throttle up and aim towards your target. The compass to the left of the sensor display will help you orient yourself. Good. Your ship is now bound for Quello Station. Let's take a moment to review the interface panels either side of your chair. The external panel is primarily used to interact with the galaxy around you. For example, you can access maps, display contracts, and review nearby objects. Meanwhile, the internal panel displays information about you and your ship. You can adjust module functions, check your records, and access the codex, among other things. Pilots often wonder what their first step into the galaxy should be. The Pilot's Handbook is a great source of help in this regard. It details a variety of professions and how to outfit your ship for them. The handbook also offers advice on various ship functions that aren't covered in this evaluation. You can find the Pilot's Handbook in the Codex, accessible on the home screen via the internal interface panel. The trails moving around you are FSD wakes. Your ship is also emitting one. The position of each correlates with their respective sensor display icons. In a moment, we'll be going through the docking process. This will cover docking permissions and a standard landing pad approach. This is the final stretch. You'll dock here shortly, but I'd like you to position your ship near the Starport's access corridor first. Starports are the backbone of humanity's operations throughout inhabited space. They provide mission boards, the commodities market, a number of specialized contacts, and various ship facilities. Good. Ease off the throttle and hold position here. Oh, and try not to block the access corridor. We'll be using the docking computer for this landing. You can always dock manually in future, of course, but practice in a training simulation first. Whichever method you use, all ships must seek docking permission before approaching a landing pad. To request docking permission, open your external interface panel and select the Contacts tab. Then select Quello Station in the list, followed by Request Docking in the Information panel.
Docking permission authorized.
been assigned landing pad 3. The compass will point towards your designated pad. Ships need to be within 7.5 kilometers of a starport for a docking request to be considered. The docking computer will now demonstrate a safe landing procedure. Let's review what it's doing. Landing gear must be deployed. The related dashboard indicator lights up if this has been done.
Landing gear deployed.
In a moment, the sensor display will switch to the precision approach display, which helps you accurately set belly down on the landing pad.
This is a flight regulation.
Docking procedure complete. Engaging pad restraints. Let's get your ship ready.
Congratulations, Commander. Your evaluation has been successful, and a license is being assigned to you as I speak. We just need to finalize your credentials. Enter the hangar to exit this evaluation. It's time to blaze your own trail across the galaxy. The manner in which you do so is up to you. Welcome to your new ship, Commander. Your pilot's Federation license has been issued, and you're free to traverse the galaxy as an independent pilot. Before launching for the first time, allow me to quickly introduce the basic interface for mission contracts. Almost all pilots will use the mission board at some stage. A contract has been assigned to you. Active missions are displayed in the Transactions tab of the external interface panel. This time you'll need to travel to Mawson Dock in the Dromi system. You can select these destinations on the navigation screen of the external interface panel. If you'd like to practice your journey first, I recommend the training simulations accessed via the internal interface panel. To review what we've discussed, select your comms panel and scroll through the recorded text. I'll contact you at Mawson Dock if you decide to complete this mission. If you choose to take a different path, then I wish you luck, Commander.
Detach confirmed. Restrict speed until clear of the station perimeter.
Scan detected.
Superpowers react to latest NMLA strike. Relations between the Empire and the Federation have deteriorated following a terror attack by neo-Marlinists against a federal starport. Kepler orbital in the Atropos system was bombed by the NMLA to eliminate several of its captured members before they could reveal anything under interrogation by the Federal Security Service. Imperial Ambassador Imogen Luciana made this statement. The NMLA was obviously able to make use of its bomb-making factories within the LTT-1935 system. If the Federation had not resisted our investigation, we would have shut these down and prevented the attack. Our warning about the extremist threat went unheeded, and the Federation is now paying the price. We once again insist that all Marlinists are repatriated to the Empire. Ambassador Jordan Rochester has not responded, but did confirm that federal embassies in several Imperial systems have closed after violent anti-Marlinist protests placed diplomatic staff's lives at risk. In Congress, Vice President Brad Mitchell directly blamed Shadow President Felicia Winters for the recent attack. He accused her of laying out the welcome mat for terrorists by offering sanctuary to the Marlinists. Other congressmen argued that she had prioritized aid for Imperial rather than federal citizens. There is evidence that Winters is now losing some of her recently gained political capital. However, the Liberal Party's popularity remains high in the wake of President Hudson's alleged association with the destruction of Starship One. Terrorist bombing at Federal Starport. Pilots Federation alert. Multiple explosions have struck Kepler orbital in the Atropos system, causing huge damage and loss of life. Witnesses have observed signs of corrosion damage to the starport. This is characteristic of an explosive designed by the engineer Liz Ryder that deploys Thargoid caustic enzymes, and which was used in the bombings of Imperial starports in September. The NMLA has claimed responsibility for the attack. Its propaganda channels praised the 9 martyrs, a reference to the terrorist suspects recently arrested by the Federal Security Service. There were also warnings of further reprisals if the Federation impedes our cause. The FSS has since confirmed that the captive NMLA members were being held in secure facilities at Kepler Orbital, which have been completely destroyed by the blasts. It is assumed that they were specifically targeted to prevent the prisoners revealing information about the paramilitary group under interrogation. Federal authorities are urgently requesting support from the galactic community to assist with repair efforts and to rescue survivors still trapped at the damaged station. Terrorists identified among Marlinist refugees. A screening process for Marlinist asylum seekers arriving in the Federation has located several members of the NMLA terrorist group. Vice President Brad Mitchell personally initiated a Federal Security Service operation to uncover any new Marlinist extremists concealed among the refugee population. The Vice President delivered this report to Congress. After standard ID scans flagged up some potential suspects, FSS officers employed more vigorous checks and interview techniques. They found 9 individuals who were active members of the NMLA. The terrorists have been transported to secure facilities for further interrogation, after which they will be handed over to Imperial authorities. Our security services remain vigilant against this danger that the Liberal Party has invited into our communities. Vox Galactica featured a statement by Marlinist community leader Dr. Jenna Fairfax. I am horrified to learn of NMLA hiding among us. These killers do not represent the principles of Marlinism, and we are happy to cooperate in expelling them. In related news, protesters on several federal worlds have warned of increased crime, terrorism, and economic damage unless all refugees are sent back to the Empire. Counter-protests have called for the Marlinists to be welcomed as fellow believers in democratic government. Colsack Nebula campaign completes initial stages. Pilots Federation alert. An Alliance initiative has successfully prepared the Colsack Nebula for exploitation and reduced the Thargoid's presence. Traders delivered shipments of power generators, robotics, structural regulators and building fabricators, which will be used to help construct several new facilities in the region. The quantity of commodities received will result in construction of the following for the 26th of November 3306, Betancourt-based Starport in the Musca-Dark region PJPB61 system. Additional services: Interstellar Factor, Human Technology Broker, Encoded Material Trader, Extended Range of Multi-Purpose Ships. Call Point Starport in the Colsack Sector VU0B66 system. Additional services: Interstellar Factor, Raw Material Trader, Extended Range of Multi-Purpose Ships and Mining Equipment, Fleet Carrier Administration. Hanu Arena Starport in the Musca-Dark region IMVC224 system. Additional services: Interstellar Factor, Range of Combat Ships and Weapons. Buring Port Starport in the Colsack Sector KNSB49 system. Additional services: Interstellar Factor, Improved Outfitting Options, Manufactured Material Trader. Commodore Morag Halloran of the Alliance Defense Force delivered an update on the security procedures. Our efforts to clear the systems of Thargoid vessels were hugely boosted by independent pilots. Their skills have enabled our transports to travel to the Nebula in relative safety. The Alliance is collaborating with several corporations to investigate the Colsack Nebula for commercial and scientific sites of interest. Emperor decides Hadrian de Val's status. Princess Aisling de Val's request for her cousin, Imperator Hadrian Augustus de Val, to be accepted into the imperial family has been denied. Emperor Arisa Lavigny de Val's decision was delivered to the Senate by Chancellor Anders Blaine. Her Majesty acknowledges that Hadrian is a de Val by blood and offers royal pardons to him and his followers for previous crimes against the Empire. However, she does not bestow upon him the title of...
This is a no-fire zone, Commander. Stow your weapons immediately.
Nor offer any formal position within the Imperial family. Aisling Duval and Hadrian Duval both expressed disappointment, but agreed to accept the decree. The Senate has now ratified the Treaty of Parisa, which removes Nova Imperium's outlaw status in return for accepting Emperor Arissa's rule and contributing to operations against the NMLA. The Imperial Herald's political journalist Cassia Carvalho commented, "This surprisingly even-handed judgment is widely seen as bowing to pressure from the Senate, where there is much loyalty to Aisling Duval. Some interpret it as atonement, or regaining political goodwill, for the purge of Nova Imperium in 3305, which included the execution of several senators. The image this projects is of an empire coming together against the greater threat posed by neo-Marlinists. But there is speculation that an alliance between the two youngest Duvals may one day challenge the Emperor for the throne." Alliance launches Colsack Nebula campaign. Pilots Federation alert. Commodities and anti-Xeno support are requested as
Flight assist on.
the Alliance begins exploitation of the Colsack Nebula. The Alliance plans to construct several new outposts in the Colsack Nebula. From these, commercial and scientific operations will be conducted to locate fresh sources of meta-alloys and other potential sites of interest. The initiative was prompted by the findings of a planetary survey team 200 years ago, which were only
Landing permitted. Prep for arrival on landing pad 28. You are cleared for automated approach,
ship
Commander.
arrived in the Changchat system. Shipments of power generators, robotics, structural regulators and building fabricators are required, and can be delivered to the megaship Spirit of Nisa in the Muscadark region PJPP-61 system. The more commodities that are supplied, the more outposts will be upgraded to starports and the greater the range of services they will offer. Commodore Morag Halloran of the Alliance Defense Force discussed security arrangements. We anticipate a heavy Thargoid presence within the Colsack
Landing gear deployed.
Nebula. Therefore, it is a strategic necessity that we act now to curtail the threat to future exploration. Independent pilots and anti-Xeno squadrons can serve the Alliance by focusing their efforts on the Colsack.
Landing successful. Docking restraints engaged. Enjoy your visit, Commander.
Sector KNSB49, Colsack Sector VUOB66, Muscadark Region IMVC224 and Muscadark Region PJPB61 systems, which will host the new structures. Federal system resists Imperial takeover. Pilots Federation alert. The Federation has successfully maintained control of the LTT-1935 system, following a battle against local Imperial forces. The conflict was caused by an Imperial investigation that traced deliveries of bomb-making materials from this system to an NMLA workshop. Colonel Ernest Harris of the LTT-1935 Confederacy stated, "The LTT-1935 system remains part of the Federation, now that we have defended against the Empire's attempt to take control. Our citizens have been saved from the indignities of Imperial interrogation. In gratitude to the Federal auxiliaries and independent pilots who helped support our freedom, rewards are now available at Wolfport." There was also a message from Captain Axel Cyprian of the LYS Corps. "This is a serious setback in our war against the NMLA terrorists, who the Federation seem eager to protect. Nevertheless, for all those courageous pilots who flew on our behalf, we cannot
Ship released. You are clear to leave.
Hadrian Duval seeks reintegration with the Empire. Imperator Hadrian Augustus Duval has recovered from an assassination attempt and signaled a new direction for Nova Imperium. Princess Aisling Duval provided advanced medical care for Imperator Duval after a near-fatal attack by NMLA assassins. Following a period of discussion, she told the media, "At this time of crisis we need allies more than ever, and my cousin's royal heritage should not be denied. I have therefore formally requested sovereign consent for him to be accepted into the imperial family as Prince Hadrian." Hadrian Duval broadcast this message from Dyson City. "I owe my life to Aisling, but life without purpose means nothing, and the Duval's purpose has always been to protect the Empire. I seek to adopt my birthright and help defend our traditional ways of life. However, many of us see disturbing parallels between the brutal purge of Noble Imperium's followers in 3305 and the current crusade against the Marlinists. I call upon those in power not to repeat this mistake. The NMLA is the common enemy we must unite against. Many senators publicly agreed that the Empire must heal past divisions to focus on the Neo-Marlinist threat. Others have voiced concerns at the repercussions of Emperor Hengist's illegitimate
Frameshift drive charging.
grandson becoming an heir to the throne. As yet, Emperor Arisa Lavigny Deval has not responded. Ghost ship leads Alliance to new resources. Discoveries made 200 years ago by an abandoned megaship have revealed untapped sources of meta-alloys within the Colsack Nebula. The Adamastor, which was launched in 3111, returned the Chapter system from the Colsack Nebula on autopilot with no traces of its crew. Thargoid barnacle sites were found in the nebula by independent pilots. The Alliance Assembly has announced an expedition to thoroughly explore the nebula, with the primary goal of securing fresh sources of meta-alloys. A press release stated, "Recent Thargoid activity in the Witchhead Nebula and overexploitation of that region mean that this latest discovery has come at an opportune time. The Colsack Nebula will now be the focus of an initiative to identify sites of commercial and scientific interest. To achieve this, we have established new partnerships with several corporations including Sirius Atmospherics. Although the mystery of the Adamastor may never be fully resolved, we hope it will leave a positive legacy for the people of the Alliance." Mention of corporate partnerships caused ripples in certain industries, with speculation that these have been in the pipeline for months. Political commentators also observed that
Frameshift drive charging.
3307 will be an election year for the Alliance, placing pressure on Prime Minister Egmont Mahone to secure economic stability. Terrorism spreads as superpower conflicts increase. Neo-Marlinist extremists are continuing their campaign of terror, while the Empire and Federation clash over issues caused by Marlinist refugees. The Imperial Herald has featured updates on terrorist activity across the Empire. The NMLA has claimed responsibility for over 50 bomb attacks during the last 3 weeks. These mostly targeted local authority buildings and security forces, killing hundreds. Hit squads have also assassinated several high-profile individuals connected to the Devals, including the Emperor's relative Baron Cesare Lavigny. Senior IISS leaders have admitted to being unprepared for how organized and well-equipped the paramilitary group is. Critics suggest that the mass arrest of Marlinists may have radicalized many people who were already sympathetic to the Republican ideology. The Federal Times has focused on the tensions between superpowers, with diplomatic channels closing down. The possibility that the confrontation in LTT 1935 might escalate into all-out war cannot be ignored. There is added pressure from the exodus of millions of Marlinists, whose beliefs align with the Federation's democratic principles. President Hudson is still suffering from reduced congressional support, and many have said that it feels like Felicia Winters is running the show. But although her humanitarian efforts undoubtedly saved many refugees' lives, the acceptance of Imperial outcasts into Federal society remains in question. Federal and Imperial forces engage in battle. Pilots Federation alert. The Empire's counter-terrorism operation in the LT. Hadrian Deval saved by Aisling Deval's intervention. Princess Aisling Deval has
charging. Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Superpowers react to later terrorist bombing at Federal Starport. Pilots Federation alert. Multiple explosions have struck Kepler orbital in the Atropos system, causing huge damage and loss of life. Witnesses have observed signs of corrosion damage to the Starport. This is characteristic of an explosive designed by the engineer Liz Ryder that
Scan detected. Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
ฮัลโหลได้ยินเปล่ามีอะไรให้ดูไม่ใช่นี่ทำไมมันสตรีมไม่ได้อะสตรีมไม่ได้ไม่ขึ้นเห็นปะหรือเห็น Facebook บ้าบอไปแล้วเปิดใช้งานหมดสตรีม